Hebrews 2:14-15 says, "Therefore, since the children share in flesh and blood, he himself likewise partook of the same, that through death he might render powerless him who had the power over death, that is, the devil, and he might free those who through fear of death were subject to slavery all of their lives." Well, if you're joining us in reading through the 60-day reading plan, today's reading is Hebrews 2:9-3:13, and I encourage you to read that passage. Well, I'd like to take a survey one day about what people fear the most in life. My guess would be some of them would say not having enough money or fearing that they might fall sick and not be able to take care of themselves. But I also think that many of them would say that they fear death, even those who might have a relationship with Christ. Christ's death on the cross accomplished many things, but one of the most significant things that he accomplished was through the resurrection after dying on the cross. You see, he dealt a death blow to death. He died so that death might be rendered powerless and the devil might be defeated. He also freed those who were in fear of death and were subject to its slavery. Now, most of us do not think that we are slaves to death, but in reality we are. We try and cheat at death to our utmost. I look at some of the advertisements on TV or the newspapers, and many of them focus on how much better our lives would be if we would just take this pill or submit ourselves to some form of physical alteration through surgery. And the underlying thought of it all is that we would be able to defeat death for at least a little while. What they don't tell you is that we were terminal when we were born. All of us are going to die. Physically, our bodies will give out eventually, and if we don't have a hope in Christ, it can be a very scary experience. So Christ's ministry is actually in three parts. In the first part, he helps us to live a life that's rewarding. In the second part, he comforts us when our bodies wear out. And in the third part, through our relationship with him, we will spend eternity with God. Are you resting comfortably in Christ? Or do you still have that fear of death?